The goal in life is to be mortgage free. Control your emotions, have integrity. If you want to use my likeness, I need equity. And if you're really trying to win, you need to bear with me. Yeah, the goal in life is to be mortgage free. Control your emotions, have integrity.
Okay, and we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Housing Hustle Podcast, where we discuss real estate each and every week. It's real conversations with real estate agents. Before we get into episode 2, I want you guys to show us some love, give us a like and a subscribe so that you can get good content each and every week. Now, for those who don't know me, my name is Sean Findlay, licensed real estate agent in the province of Ontario, and I am with the amazing brokerage Century 21 Millennium, where we practice real estate in the province of Ontario. And as well, I'd like to introduce my partner in crime, Mr. Ian Lovell.
Hey, Sean, how are you doing? Yeah, I am Ian Lovell, been an agent for a long time here in Ontario. Love this beautiful province, but specifically the GTA, great place to be doing real estate and a lot of great opportunities. You know, some people are saying real estate's not the time to be in real estate, but tell them, trust me, every day is a good time to be in real estate. Just got to figure out what works for you. All right, back to you, Sean.
So, welcome to the city of Toronto, beautiful city. If you guys are thinking about moving within Toronto or the GTA, make sure you contact myself or Ian Lovell. So, on today's agenda, we're going to be picking up where we left off last week, where we were discussing that the Bank of Canada interest rate meeting was going to be happening. So that meeting happened earlier this week. So we will be discussing what happened and the results that came from that meeting. As well, we're going to be discussing investment properties, what to look for when purchasing an investment property, as well as what type of renovations to stay away from. And then picking back up as well from episode 1, we are going to do an investment home review for a beautiful home at 21 Duffield Road in Brampton. So let's get right into it with the Bank.
Let's get into it.
So the meeting happened on July the 12th.
Yeah.
And they announced some heavy hitting news, which we kind of speculated.
Well, Sean, it wasn't really heavy hitting. Everyone knew exactly what was going to happen. We knew that we were going to get at 25 points.
Oh yeah, you
I
called
was hoping it wasn't going to happen, but as I said, it happened, and it wasn't a real big surprise.
Yeah,
the market is expecting it. Most individuals that are out in the market looking for homes were expecting it, and so we saw 25 basis points, and unfortunately, we understand with 25 basis points, lending is going to get more expensive. But let's understand there are still some really great opportunities when this happens. It's not all bad news, because the reality is that what you'll see is that prices have started to come back down, right?
Yes. So
like we were in the market just last week, and the reality is that we had our own listing that was on there, and our big thing is that we wanted to get it in our listing on the market before the 25 basis points.
Yeah,
we were able to do that, fortunately.
Mm-hmm.
We rushed, we got it in, and we got it sold before the announcement, because we realized that once that announcement happens, what's going to happen is that the market comes back, prices are going to start coming back a little bit more, and therefore we weren't going to get the best deal for our client, right? Yeah. And therefore the reality is that as the basis points keep going up, as interest rates keep going up, what's going to happen is that the prices are going to come back, and therefore when prices come back, it means that there's more affordability for more individuals that really want to get into the market, especially for first-time home buyers.
Oh yeah. So we've seen a 25 basis point increase. So this brings us to a total increase, leading us to a 5% interest rate right now across the market. So, as I was explaining in last week's episode, for those who don't understand what's happening when these type of adjustments are made, is that people's mortgage payments, if you're a homeowner, your mortgage payments will increase, right? Depending on whether you are variable or fixed, you may experience increase in the short term, or you may experience it when it's time for your mortgage to renew. So what this does in the overall market is that home prices, what we've seen historically is that after rate increases, home prices tend to dip a little bit. Home buyers, their buying power sometimes gets limited because of the affordability that has now come into a play because of the increase in interest rates. So yeah, we were definitely with our listing. We were definitely on a race against time, trying to get it prepared for the market. Get the photos done, the video done, the 3D tour done, and then as well, some good week or so to get the marketing flowing. So we were definitely in a rush of time, but we got it done. We got it done.
Yeah, got it done, got it sold in record time. So the reality is that, as Sean is indicating, we're indicating there are still very good opportunities just because the fact is that prices are coming back. Hey, what's our next topic, Sean?
Okay, so let's keep it moving. So let's get into the juicy topic of investment properties.
Oh, let's talk about investment properties. I love investment properties.
Oh yeah, definitely always something good to add to the portfolio. You have stocks, bonds. There's a lot of different investments out there, but when it comes to real estate investing, you most times, as long as you do your proper research and due diligence and work with a licensed realtor, such as myself or Ian, then you can't go wrong with an investment property. Right?
Absolutely. So, I think the biggest thing in this market is that rents are going up substantially in this whole market. And because rents are going up, this is a time, especially if you're going to be looking for an investment property, you want to get into properties that are going to give you multiple units, right? Multiple units. I've been telling every client, it's like, try to get, just to give you an example, if you have an upstairs dwelling and then you have a downstairs dwelling, a basement apartment, can you imagine, we're seeing some crazy rental numbers for basement apartments, right? Because when you're looking at investment property, a lot of times you're looking for, okay, is my property going to appreciate? Okay, that's one thing to look at. And we know over the long term, real estate is going to appreciate. But other thing here is that in this market, with the rates of rentals, you have to understand that you've got some significant cash flow that you can take advantage of, right? Because the reality is that you buy this property, you may have one part of the dwelling that can pay for the mortgage. The other part of the dwelling is what you call gravy. So you're going to be making some significant cash flow. As long as you're doing your homework, you got to figure out what area do you want to be in, what kind of rental rates are you going to get in that area, and how quickly can you take this one property, and if you can buy it and it already has 2 units, that'd be fantastic. If it can be expanded to more than 2 units, that's even greater. If you don't have 2 units, what will it take in order for you to get a second unit? So those are things that you want to be able to ask yourself when you're looking, especially in this type of market, because you can do really well with these multiple units.
Yes. And that's one thing that we preach to our clients is, once you have that multiple income situation, you're able to handle obstacles in the whole pathway when it comes to things like Canada's interest rates doing an increase, right? Because once you have a second flow of income on the property, one income could, mostly cover the mortgage. And if it's not covering the mortgage, then having that duplex or triplex potential will help, cover that difference in income, right? So either or, right? So if you are a buyer looking to buy a property, a multiple property investment property is something that you should look out for. Or if you already own a property, converting your home into a multiple unit dwelling is something that you can maybe even consider, right? So if you have a basement that's unfinished, or if it's finished but just missing a few attributes to make it a full legal basement, then something that you should really highly consider, because it'll bring forth additional revenue now, and then in the future, when it ever comes time to sell, you can bet your bottom dollar that you're going to get some good traffic of people coming in to view that house.
Absolutely.
Because when people see multiple income dwellings, their eyes light up, and it's something that attracts investors, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And where we are, it's a great idea. Like whether you're in, where it's like Brampton, Hamilton, St. Catharines, Niagara Falls, Barrie, the reality is that this is a great investment wherever you may be. The key thing is that how quickly can you convert? If it's not a multiple dwelling, how quickly can you convert that second unit and make it legalized? And and so we have to go through that whole aspect of your budget. What is it going to take? But the reality is that it's not that difficult to get into 2 units. Once you have 2 units, as long as you do your research and find out exactly what you can get out of those 2 units. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later on, because the property that we were listing was very, very similar to a two dwelling unit. And so we'll go through the math and we'll discuss what that really looks like. All right. So what else do you have to go on, Sean?
okay. So next up, we're going to talk about what to stay away from when buying an investment property. So when we are going out with our clients looking at investment properties, we want to stay away from homes that, may have not a good foundation, right? So older homes, you kind of have to be cautious with making sure that there are no cracks in the foundations, making sure that the electrical is not too outdated, as well. Things such as plumbing, all the heavy ticketed items that potentially open up more issues once you start investigating. Because if you have foundation issues, once they start digging, there may be other issues that may come up.
That's right.
Your overall bottom line may be affected if you have a certain budget, and now you have to pay up extra dollars that you weren't necessarily planning for because you have to take care of heavy ticketed items.
Yeah.
So one thing that we like to tell our clients is, try to stay with cosmetic repairs, the lipstick fixer-uppers, right? That just need a little bit of TLC, counters, maybe some new windows, some new floors, some new drywall.
Yeah, and you got to recognize in this kind of a situation, you want to have a good inspector that's going to be able to go through that property and really show you what's been updated, what's been upgraded. Because again, you don't want to go and break down a wall and then you realize, oh, look at this electrical. This is like stuff that's about 100 years old. And all of a sudden you got to rewire your whole house. And imagine you're thinking that you've got a budget of $60,000, $70,000, and now you realize that you got to change all the electrical in your house. Well, that's not going to cost you $60,000 just to do that, right? So you got to get a good inspector inside there. You have to make sure that he gives you a good report to tell you what the status of that house is. I'm just thinking about a 100-year-old house. Can you imagine that they used to build with asbestos? And so once you start knocking down walls and start doing different things, the problem that you're going to have is that that asbestos becomes a problem. And therefore, you want to make sure that you're going to a home that doesn't have asbestos or anything that's going to create a problem that you're going to have to deal with, right? That means that you have to get some professionals inside there, because not just anyone can take out asbestos. So those are kind of things that you got to be on top of. And therefore, as Sean was indicating, you want to get into a place where, if you want to change the countertops, we'll change the countertops. You want to change the cupboards, we'll change the cupboards. You do a nice backsplash, change the flooring. So those are things that you want to deal with, but you don't want to deal with stuff that are going to be real headaches, that's going to take you way outside of your budget, and therefore you don't even know when you're going to get a return on that property.
Oh yeah. So that's why a home inspection is definitely something that we do recommend for all our clients, especially when you're purchasing a property, because that $300 to $500 inspection that you pay for could literally save you thousands of dollars down the line.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So without further ado, let's review 21 Duffield Road, which was one of our newest listings that we had.
Yeah, so we have some bias here, obviously. So because this is our listing, but you know what? As we go through this, you'll see that this is a great property, and it wasn't a perfect property. But let's understand, we saw this really quickly because there are things about this property that we were able to promote, that we were able to show that, hey, it makes sense for anyone that's looking to buy this property. And so, hey, let's just go through a tour of this, Sean. Let's do a tour of this property.
Okay, let's pull it up. So welcome to 21 Duffield Road in Brampton. Okay, so this is the 3D tour that we organized for the home. So we have.
Yeah. Remember, we don't play when we're listing a home. We soup it up. So 3D is a must when we're going into a home, right? And so a lot of agents are not going to do all that kind of stuff, but we make sure that you're going to get bang for your buck here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So you have a lovely foyer as you walk into this all brick, fully detached 2-car garage. Let's look at this driveway. We have space for another 4 vehicles. So total 6 parking spaces for this duplex.
Yeah, this one had great curb appeal. The one thing about the owners of this property is that they did a great job of taking care of the property.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
so they maintained the property well, and
very well.
When you come in, we didn't really have to do much on this property because a lot of times, sometimes we've got to do painting and do different things in order to be able to enhance the property. But they did a great job. So when we came in, all we had to do was really stage the property properly, and then the property sold for itself.
Yes, yes. So this home has living room space, dining room space. We have a nice big kitchen space.
Yeah, let me talk about the kitchen for a second. Let's look at the kitchen for a second, Sean. Because when you're looking at this kitchen, what you see is that the great thing is that, yeah, the cupboards and the countertops, great, because those have been upgraded. But these are old appliances, right? See, these are white appliances, and a lot of times, especially if you're a client that doesn't have the budget to be able to change these things out, the reality is this didn't really take away from the fact that we got it sold really quickly, right? Because you have to look at other things that enhance that property. And therefore, if you don't have the $10,000 or $7,000 to change all your appliances, get stainless steel, because most people like stainless steel. We looked at this and said, you know what? Yeah, we even have a little bit of a crack on the microwave. But the reality, we realized that this property has so many other things that are fantastic. That's going to override the small things like the white appliances, the crack in the microwave. And therefore, the reality is that, as I said, not a perfect property, but if you see a property and you know what people are looking for, you can sell a property really, really quickly. And there's a lot of things inside here that we're going to talk about that made this an easy sell.
Yes, yes. So this home was a special home. When me and Ian were first touring the home, we started on the main floor, and I believe we went upstairs first, and then we went to the basement. And it was special. It was special. So let's talk about why this home. We called this home a unicorn, actually, because it was a rare home of how the homeowners put a lot of TLC and a lot of strategy and thinking, right, went into how they did the basement. So do you want to go upstairs first or go right into the basement?
Yeah, let's go right to the basement, because I think that's a key thing, because like as Sean was saying, this is a unicorn. This is a 3-bedroom plus 3 bedrooms. The plus means that in the basement there's actually 3 bedrooms, right? Now, you're not going to see 3 bedrooms in too many properties. That's the first and foremost thing, right? Cool. So a lot of times people see 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms, but to see 3 bedrooms, now that's unheard of, right? So this is the smaller of the 3 bedrooms right here. And the other thing, as Sean goes through, we'll see it later, is that this had 2 full washrooms, 2 4-piece washrooms in the basement, right? So when you look at that, there's one of them.
So bathroom number 1.
This is bathroom number 1. Yeah.
Nice stand-up shower.
And they did a great job just putting this together, right? The workmanship that was put in here was excellent. And so you have a small living room here. You've got 2 other bedrooms, as you can see, that are straight ahead and to the left side there. And we have in the far room there in the back there, we have, voila, a second full washroom.
Look at that. Bathtub, shower, everything. So this is special. It has an ensuite
Yeah,
bathroom in.
and good workmanship, very clean. And the key here is that when you're seeing a property like this, as you said, this property was not perfect. But let's understand this. When you have a 3-bedroom, 2 full washrooms, what does that mean? That's big money that you're talking about for anyone that's going to come into this property. If you, this is in Brampton here, and this 3-bedroom basements with 2 full washrooms, a rarity first and foremost. These are going for, if you can believe it, a basement apartment for $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month. The basement alone is probably going to carry most of your mortgage, just renting that out. Most of your mortgage is going to be consumed by that basement.
Yeah, we actually pulled up a few listings, rental listings in this neighborhood, and the minimum range for a 3-bedroom, 2-washroom basement, right, was $2,800.
Yeah.
And we even seen some upwards of $3,000, right? So there was multiple properties. It wasn't like there was just one or two. There was a few, and that's the standard norm in the rental market in this area. So
Yeah.
as Ian was saying, significant income potential, right? And so this house was listed at $1,098,000, right? And
That's right.
you know, as we mentioned in the last episode, we do a lot of guerrilla style research techniques. So in doing some of our ground field techniques, we were calling up agents, right, who had active listings. And, you know, we contacted and looked up every single listing that was on the MLS, right? And the general census was that offer presentations had kind of slowed down. They weren't as aggressive as we've seen in previous months. And this was due to the Bank of Canada, you know, the looming news of interest rates. People were speculating that it was going to go up. They didn't know what was going to happen. So buyer confidence was kind of, you know, leaving the marketplace. So a lot of offer presentations weren't getting that many offers. If they were getting lowballed. But this particular property listed at $1,098,000, and we received 4 offers. Okay, and Ian, what did it end up selling for?
Well, we ended up selling this for 1.150, right? And so we sold it obviously about $50,000 above what we were listing it for, which outperformed what was actually happening in the market at the time. So as Sean was indicating, most of the offer presentations were not succeeding. Most of them actually failed over the last several weeks. But the reality is that if you have a good property and you're able to sell it, like this was a very unique type of property. And if you're looking at million-plus homes when you've got these large mortgages, but what are people looking for? How am I going to be able to afford this mortgage on a month-to-month basis? Voila, we have a basement that's going to give you money, right? And so, but even if you're as an investor to come in, because we actually had another investor that was going to buy this in order to be able to rent it upstairs and downstairs. Well, you could have rented out downstairs for $3,000, then upstairs for another $4,000. That's $7,000. It means that there would be a significant cash flow from a property just like this. As we said, you got to find the ways of being able to sell a property properly on that market, right? What's going to attract different people to come into that home? As I said, this is a very nice home. It's made up very well, but it's not perfect, right? Definitely is not a perfect home. But what does it have? There's certain things in here that are intrinsically very, very powerful for any home buyer, an investor that's looking to get into a property. And therefore, what we did is that we accentuated those kind of things. We got 4 people that came to the table to actually put offers in, and we got this sold in a week. That's just the reality.
So yeah, we were very excited about this home. It was a unicorn. It's very rare that you find houses where there's such good planning involved. But overall, this is a fantastic home. Has good bones, good foundation. It was very clean inside. And yeah, that's why we were able to get it to the market in such a quick period. You know, we sat down with the lovely owners, and within a week, they were able to declutter, do, you know, some minor adjustments in the house. And then we were able to hit the ground running, get it on the market, multiple offer situation, despite the current economic atmosphere that was happening. And, you know, we got the job done. We got the job done.
Got the job done. That's a key. You always have to get the job done. No excuses. Doesn't matter what's going on with the economy. The reality is that you got to find a way to make things happen. And we're thankful that we were able to get this done. Yeah, I think that's it for today. And as Sean was indicating, you know what, hit us up if you're looking at buying, if you're looking at selling your property. You really want professionals that know what they're doing, that understand the market, that our ears are to the ground. We know what's going on to be able to assist you with that. And so, as I said, we've got great ideas as far as if you're looking for investment properties, if you're looking at listing, if you're looking at buying, we'll take you through the whole process and to be able to give you the best advice, but give you professional advice in order for you to be able to succeed in this real estate game. Because the hustle is out there, but you gotta know how to hustle properly.
That's right. That's right. You have to hustle hard. And we thank you guys for joining us this week. Second episode of the Housing Hustle. If you haven't already done so, make sure you like and subscribe to get good content each and every week. See you guys next week. Take care.
All right, see you guys
The
next
goal
week.
in life is to be mortgage free. Control your emotions, have integrity.